Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and I'm here today to share with you the books that I read while I was on my little break, as well as a couple of April reading plans. So I didn't really share this on here, but I did on Twitter let you know that I'd be taking a break from posting videos and blog posts and things like that because I was having a really rough time and I was really feeling like I was kind of at the very edge of my rope, and I had a lot going on and I couldn't just stop work or stop uni, so this was the thing that kind of had to go until I was feeling a bit more organized. I have been filming videos during this little break to cover me for the next 2 weeks, and that's basically what I'm gonna kind of stick with. I used to do this in the past. Don't really know what changed and why I kind of stopped, but going forward I'm going to try and have my videos pre-recorded as much as I possibly can so that I don't feel as stressed and I can still have videos going up, because I do really enjoy doing this and I really enjoy doing my blog as well, so I don't want to give them up, but I don't want them to feel like something that's stressful or that is a job. So I'm just gonna, do it 2 weeks ahead, and then I have a little bit more time to kind of film things. Obviously before I've talked about my health and the fact that I am chronically ill. I have type 1 diabetes, and I also of course have anxiety and depression and those sorts of things. So I just, that's another thing that I can't change. I always have to deal with that. I do not get a break from diabetes. It is 24/7. So I just want to make sure that I'm looking after myself and doing the stuff that I have to do so that I can do the stuff I want to do. But I'm going to jump into this now. I don't think I've talked about any of these. I thought maybe I talked about this first one in a vlog, but now I'm thinking that I haven't. Or I did talk about it in a vlog, but it was like a day or two before I went on break and I didn't actually continue that vlog. So we're going to jump into it. This is probably going to be a long video, so I recommend grabbing yourself some tea or some coffee or something. I've got some tea for me, maybe a snack, and we're going to jump in. So apologies for any meowing in the background. Both of the boys have decided they want to come out, but now they're kind of like arguing about it, so we'll see. I have Caressed by Ice by Nalini Singh, which is the third book in the Psy Changeling series. I read this one. I finished it the day after I got back from my little trip away with Angel. We had a lovely time. It was just like really relaxing. We just got some reading done and watched some movies, and it was just really nice. But this is by far my favorite Psy Changeling book so far. And I know that I'm like, it's literally the third book, but like, I just loved it so much. I really enjoy, so I don't 100% understand the like Psy side of this, that are like a race that are kind of like emotionally cold because of this like thing called the silence, and there's like different levels where some of them are like psychic, some of them are like medical Psy, and all these different things, and there are all these different like classifications and everything, and I don't understand all of that. But this is the first book in which so it follows that, and then it follows a bunch of changelings. This is the first one in which the changeling has been, or the woman has been the changeling and the man the Psy, and I liked that more. I just really like Brenna, who is in this, and she's just like I just love the different dynamic. I just really enjoyed that. My friend Angel has read most of this series and has told me that her favorite books are often the ones that are both changelings. So I'm looking forward to those because I like the changelings more than I like the Psy. But I really did enjoy this one. And then I read M Train by Patti Smith. This is my 4th Patti Smith book. I really enjoy her. Her books are very like dreamlike, I guess. They often revolve around her dreams. But also they talk about different people in her life. This one talks a lot about her husband who passed away and her different friends and family, but also her travels and things like that. And I always really enjoy them. They always the boys are just running around. They always kind of make me want to like sell all my worldly possessions and travel the world, which isn't really what Patti Smith does. But yeah, it's just like makes me want to get on a plane and go somewhere. And then next up I have Because of Miss Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. This is the first book in the Rokesbys saga, which is a prequel to the Bridgerton books. Obviously, with season 2 of Bridgerton out, I don't know how you could have missed that unless you're living under a rock. There's been a lot of talk about it. But with that, a couple of days before, I was like, oh, I should read this series because I've owned this first one since 2019. I did that. I really, really enjoyed this. And then after this one, I read book 2, which is The Girl with the Make-Believe Husband. So I also really liked that one. That one takes place in the US during the Revolutionary War and was just something that I've never really read before. My kind of understanding of the American Revolution starts and ends with Hamilton. So I really enjoyed that one. I think I liked that one slightly more than this one, but there was some weird stuff in it too. But I have book 3 and 4 as an ebook from my library. So I'm hopefully going to be reading those in the next few days. And then I will talk about them more as a group, I think, is kind of the way to do it. And then next up, I finally finished The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this, I started in February or the very start of March, and I read most of it in like a weekend, and then I put it down to pick something else up, and then I just didn't come back to it until a few days ago, and then I finished it all. I had like 100 pages left or something. Actually, I think it was more like 180 pages left, but I read it all in that night and I really enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised by this because the end I actually kind of cried and I wasn't really anticipating that. This was my first Taylor Jenkins Reid book and I really liked it. I'm still kind of surprised that I did, but genuinely really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, a perfect time to pick it up because the Netflix adaptation was just announced. I'm holding back my thoughts on it since we don't really have that much information about it, but I'm sure I'll talk about it somewhere when we get some more info on it. Okay, so after that one, I was feeling pretty good. I was like, wow, look at me. I read a hyped book and I liked it. Like, that is something. that is extremely rare for me. So I was, I was in that headspace and I was like, yes, let's read The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. And I ended up DNFing this. And I know, because so many of you are such big fans of Lynette Noni, and lots of people have told me to read this book and that it's really good. But I don't agree. I'm sorry. I did not like it at all. I think for me, this is basically taking elements of like Throne of Glass and like Poison Study, and I loved those books when I read them. But that was like 9 or 10 years ago for like Poison Study, and maybe like 7 or 8 for Throne of Glass. So I'm over those stories, and this just wasn't for me. It was just not the kind of story that I wanted. I think had it been, as well, there's a lot that's happening in this. I think had it just been like the story of a prison healer, and I think it mentioned, on the back it mentions that she gets like a message saying that to keep this particular prisoner alive, and that they're coming to rescue her. And I think had it just been that, I would have really enjoyed it, and just like the story of her doing her prison healy stuff on the side. But there was another element to it, and I was just like, oh, I don't care about this part. And that made up like a decent chunk, but it just didn't flow together for me. And I'm really sad, because I did kind of like where the romance was going with this one. I really liked the guy. I assume he becomes the romantic interest, because but I did make it almost 200 pages into this, so I gave it a good go. It wasn't like I read 20 pages and was like, I'm out. But this wasn't for me, and I don't think I'm gonna ever pick up any other Lynette Noni. I don't know. And then we have A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert. This is book 3 in the Wicked Villains series. I read book 2 in Feb and was like, or maybe the end of January, and was like, I'm gonna need a couple of months because I didn't really enjoy it. It's very intense. Like, this is, I would say, leans more heavily on the erotica than a romance. And I'm not super into that. I like my romances to have a plot to it as well. And these do have a plot, but it's very light on that. And some of it is just not the kind of thing that I like. So, that being said, this is my favorite of the 3. I love Hook, who is the romantic interest in this one. This is Tinkerbell and Hook. I love him. He's so cute. So, I really enjoyed it for that. But this is not a series that I ever think I'm going to love as much as I do love Katie Roberts. Oh no, I've forgotten the name of the Wicked. No, not Wicked. Where am I? Electric Idol series. I've forgotten the name of it. Neon Gods series. So I'm never gonna like these as much as those, but I love reading these, knowing about those, and seeing how much she has grown as an author. Okay, I think I need a quick tea break. Okay, so for the final one, we are ending with some more Nalini Singh. This is Mine to Possess, which is the fourth book in the series. As you can see, I still have a bookmark in it. I have about 80 pages left to read, if that. And I didn't want to wait. I wanted to film this while I still had some natural light, and it's getting a bit dark. But unless something goes terribly, terribly wrong, I think this is going to be another 4-star read for me. I really like this one. This one is different again in that it is a changeling and a human. Those are kind of the 3 races within this world: the Psy, the changeling, and the humans. And obviously within the Psy and within the changelings there are many, many different types. So there are leopard changelings, there are wolves, there are other cats, there are rats, there are all sorts of things. So yes, this is a leopard changeling and a human, and I'm really enjoying this one. Not as much as Caressed by Ice, but I'm still really liking it. And then I thought I would just quickly share with you a couple of books that I'm thinking about reading in April. You will see later this month that I will have my Eurovision-a-thon TBR going up. That starts on the 16th of April, so I have basically the first half of the month to read other things. So I don't have a set TBR, but I do have literally a whole bunch of library books still here. I just turn them this way. I'm not going to go through them, but I will link my library haul down below because I basically still have all of those out from the library. Some of which I've started, some of which I have not. Oh, here's another one here. I'll talk about this one by itself briefly. This is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I am buddy reading this with my friend Erica, who I will link below, and we're literally supposed to have finished this so many times and we just keep pushing it back. But I'm about 100 pages in, and I'm hoping to read a little bit more of that this evening after I finish the Nalini Singh. And basically I just really want to be able to return something to the library this week. It would be great if I could return like 2 or 3. That would be incredible within the next 2 weeks. Sorry, my tripod just decided to just like kamikaze at me. Yes, my best friend Angel very kindly lent me the next 3 books in the Side Changeling series so that I didn't have to buy them. Mine to Possess was the last one that I had had a copy of, and these are so hard to find in the library. So she lent me, I think this is the right order. I think it goes Hostage, True Pleasure, Branded by Fire, and Blaze of Memory, but these 2 may be in the other order. I don't know. I feel like this is right because on the side the faces like match up of the men, and I'm like, so they face the same way, so I think that's right. Anyway, super excited to get to those. I may possibly start Hostage to Pleasure tomorrow, and then the last well, actually I lied. I have a bunch of Kindle things I'm still trying to read for my Read My Kindle project. I'll also link that below, so if I could finish off one of those, I'm close to the end on one, that would be great, and make some kind of progress with the others. And then finally I have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I'm 118 pages into this one. Was hoping to have finished this one this month, but just run out of time. So instead, I hope that I can do that in the next few days. And yes, so that is all of it. I hope you're all doing super well, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. I love that I've kind of gone for a colour scheme with my reading and I didn't even notice.